Well, the stage is set, the sun's dipping down and the shadows are stretching across the field. It's the much awaited encounter. The bilateral series between Qatar and Bahrain is about to get underway, and as we speak, the mercury levels have rather favorably dropped to below 25 degrees at the moment, and the time on the clock is 3:30 p.m. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you to the two captains, Mirza Beg from Qatar and Mr. Ahmed bin Nasser from Bahrain, and overlooking the toss for today would be Mr. Aminul Islam. Mirza, you've got the coin. Would you like to give it a flip?
One is in head. This is the head. This is the tail. Head is in head. Okay. Flip and tail.
Head. Heads is the call.
That is head.
And it's come down as head. Ahmed, you won the toss. What have you decided to do and why?
We'll bat first. It's a bit dry and hard wicket, hard pitch, so it's better to first bat.
Ahmed, tell us about your team combination. You mentioned the pitch dryness. Are you a spin-heavy attack?
No, we have a bunch of experience. We have a lot of guy who knows how to bowl, so it's a really good experience for our team now.
Any star players to look out for in today's contest?
Yeah, we have Imran, Javed and Rizwan who take the fastest for 100 wicket, so you will see.
All the best, Ahmed.
Thank you.
Mirza, hard luck with the toss. If you had won the toss, would you have done the same?
Yeah, we would have batted first on this wicket. It looks like a good batting track, and I'm sure it's going to stay the same. But we just wanted to, as you know, it's it's our home ground, so we would like to take that charge and have a big target on the score. But toss is 50-50, and they won it, and it's just our game to get it till the end and win the game for us.
And tell us about your experience playing in home conditions. Obviously, these are your familiar conditions. How do you see them, and do you feel comfortable playing in them?
No, obviously every team who's playing at home is comfortable with the conditions. They know what the conditions do. So hopefully we can bowl well and get them out at the lowest score possible.
Thank you, Mirza. All the very best for the contest.
Thank you so much.
Well, the news from the centre out here then is that Bahrain has won the toss and they are going to bat first. A very warm welcome to one and all to the Western International Cricket Ground here in Doha, Qatar. The stage is set as we get underway in the opening match of this 5-game international bilateral series between Qatar and Bahrain. Bahrain winning the toss, deciding to bat first. And an outside edge found. What a start to this contest, Tariq Munir. Striking first blood for Qatar, first ball. Considerable movement. And AB Nasser has to walk back to the pavilion without troubling the scorers. Well, a dream start then for Qatar, having lost the toss. Asked to bowl. Mirza giving the ball to Sharik, and he's drawn first blood already. First ball of the game. Considerable movement away from the left-hander. And an outside edge found. They're going with the standard field. There's fine leg and third man in place. In fact, the fine leg moving to deep backward square leg now. Once again, you see that movement from Sharik, bringing that ball back into the right-hander. Hardly any time to settle. This is a brilliant start from Qatar then. Striking gold early in this game. Oh, inside edge. And has he chopped it onto the stumps? He has indeed. Qatar has gone bang bang in this game already. One brings two. Bahrain find themselves in a spot of bother early in this series. So important to set the tone. And Sharik Munir is doing exactly that for his team. 3 balls into the contest, he's got 2 wickets already. Well, Mirza, the Qatar captain, he would not have hoped for a better start. 3 balls into the game and they've already picked up 2 wickets. Hardly any time for us to catch our breath and read to you the 2 lineups. We'll try if Sharik allows us. It's been an action-packed first over. Absolute box office. And he comes again, and this time off radar. The idea was right. Trying to bowl within the line of the stumps. Right, Qatar's team for today, captained by Mirza Beg, will be joined by Eval Malindu as the wicket-keeper, and the remaining players include Zubair, Sharik Munir, Shazib Afridi, Muhammad Asim, Shazib Jamil, Muhammad Ikramullah, Amir Farooq, and Uwais Ahmed. Oh, cut him into half. Sharik Munir is asking questions. Bahrain side is captained by Ahmar bin Nasir. Several other players in their side, some star performance to look out for. They have Prashant Kurub, Muhammad Rizwan, Fiaz Ahmad, Imran Javed, Anwar Abdul Majid Abbasi, Ali Daoud, Sohail Ahmed, and Asif Ali. Asif Muhammad Ibrahim is the 12th man. Nicely played this time. Offering a straight bat. also not planting that foot outside the off stump, which is so crucial when the ball is jagging back in vociferously like it is at the moment. Just the one wide of the over and 2 wickets. It's mainly swing that Sharik is relying on. Not much seam movement. Once again, that line within the line of the stumps. End of an eventful over then. Bahrain losing 2. They are 1 for 2 at the end of 1. Right, the skipper himself, Mirza, coming on to bowl the second over, has the ability to move the ball both ways. They've been right on money with their lines and lengths, hitting the right areas early on. The idea has been to bowl within the line of the stumps, and they've executed their plans to perfection so far. This is just the second over, and they've got Bahrain on the back foot already. A big shout, I think that's probably going down leg side. Umpire Usman is an experienced campaigner. Roll the replays. Yep, clearly going down leg side. The intensity from Qatar so far has been top notch. So much to like about this side. Slightly short. He swivels, but there is protection down to the boundary. It'll only be a single. It's a game of margins, this. They hadn't bowled a loose ball up until that point. But you're only human. And it's such a funny game. The margin of error is so little. You go marginally wrong, and the batters these days, they're not scared to dish out the punishment. Leaning forward. A bit circumspect at this stage. Fiaz Ahmed. Mindful that they've lost a couple of early wickets. And quite aware that they have to weather this storm. A bit of shimmy down the track looking for the single, but that ball goes straight to the fielder. So just the one run of the over so far. And Bahrain have felt the early shock of this innings. Recovering from the shockwave still. Down the track he goes, no real timing on it. Well, over number 2 comes to a close. Bahrain are 2 for 2. It's 2-2-2. Sharik Munir coming on to bowl his second over. The man who did the most damage in his first over. He'll be at it again and again. That ball tailing back in last second. It's so crucial to get the line right when the ball is behaving like it is at the moment. Sharik is mindful of that. He's got a good rhythm going. Nice smooth run up. Good gather at the crease. And an effortless release at the end. Just as we were speaking, losing his run up. But doing the right thing, aborting the delivery rather than carrying through with it. Shows a lot of self-awareness. This time it was wide, but tentative. It's thanks to those balls coming back, and he wasn't really expecting it, was he? It's the good old two-card trick from Sharik Munir. All of his balls coming back into the right-hander and then one leaving the batter. It was a perfect setup. There wasn't much swing, but he'd mentally set the batter up for that. Let's have a look at it again. Coming closer to the stump, so creating a bit of an angle. It wasn't an unplayable delivery. In fact, it could have been cut as well, but it was thanks. Thanks largely to those balls that he had bowled initially. Bringing everything in, and then suddenly one that goes away, and it catches the edge. Sharik Munir is on a roll here. He's already got 3. And he's only into his second over. This is real skill on display, I tell you. The scorecard does not reflect the nature and true face of this pitch. It is a much better pitch than 2 for 3. But the Qatari bowlers have come in with a plan and they've executed it to perfection. Time off the pads, they go through for a leg by. And this early jolt for Bahrain is something that they will need to recover from. And in T20, there isn't really much time to do it. You have the pressure of runs on your mind. But compounding that problem now for Bahrain is the loss of wickets, change of pace. He's a thinking cricketer, this lad, Sharik Munir. Has a bag of tricks up his sleeve, not one-dimensional, playing with the minds of the batter, using the angles well at the crease. And Bahraini batting lineup, as a result, is in absolute tatters. A dot ball to finish over number 3 then. I tell you what, it was 222 in the last over. It's 333. 3 for 3 in 3 overs. Bahrain. What a coincidence. Mirza Beg to continue from this end, and what a delivery. Coming in with the angle and then leaving the batter just at the last second. And yet again, almost an action replay of the ball before. That was too good a ball, really, for the batter, Ajay Anwar. It's interesting now. Will he bring this one back into the right-hander? Is ball 2 moving away? And yes, he does. It comes back into him, but he's played it with the angle. And he's deposited it for the first maximum of Bahrain innings. It was probably on the cards, trying to replicate what Sharik did in the last over. A couple of balls moving away, the third one coming back in, and he was ready for it. Using the angle, helping it on its way, and earning a half a dozen. That's one way to release the pressure. Oh, what a good comeback, though. Sticking to his strength. Bowling it full outside the off stump, and there is some movement on offer. There has been, particularly in the air. Mirza, I tell you what, he wouldn't like it. Not that any bowler likes it. And what a comeback! You miss, I hit. And he's giving a bit of a send-off as well. The Qatari bowlers are turning it on. What a display of bowling it has been. It was full. It was straight. And it was aimed right at the stumps. There you go. No answers. Foot in the air. A bit tentative. Wary of that movement. Wary of that swing. And by the time that bat came down, the ball had already hit the stumps. What a display of high-class fast bowling are we witnessing here at the West End International Cricket Stadium, the first of the 5-match series. Qatar all over Bahrain in this contest. Their opening bowlers Mirza and Sharik delivering the goods, hitting the right areas, bowling with the plan. It's not just about skill. Outside edge found once again. End of another excellent over. Bahrain slip further at the end of 4. They are 10 for 4. Sharik Munir is earned this third over, and why not? He's been the chief destroyer so far. And his captain wants him on, wants him to pick up another wicket. What can Bahrain do then? They're into a deep hole already. Nasser and Ahmed out in the middle. Ahmed is yet to get off the mark. He's faced 8 deliveries. Nasser is fresh at the crease, but he seems to be quite confident the way he's played these 3 deliveries. Seems to be picking the ball up early from the bowler's hand. Well, Mirza wants some reinforcements on the offside. Another fielder being stationed at covers, along with the point. Nicely played, keeping his eyes on the ball till the very last moment, playing it right under his eyes, guiding it down for a single. He's looked to be the pick of the batter so far. Safe to say, Nasser, he has to stay out there. There's been early damage, lots of early damage. It's been courtesy this man, Sharik Munir. Over number 3. He's bowling and he's already got a figures of 3 for 3. Played with soft hands, and they were off immediately, going through for a single. Tell you what, they've got a lot of depth in their bowling. Have Qatar after this opening pair. They've still got the likes of Uwais who has 2 hat-tricks in international cricket. There's Mohammad Asim with his right arm off spin. And also Mujibur Rahman, slow left arm orthodox. So plenty to contend with for Bahrain. They seem to be taking a little break here. Not sure what happened. Was it a change of equipment? So well that ends well. They're coming back onto the field. Mistiming. It was a nice and early call, and hence they go through for a single quite comfortably. Bit of respite then for Bahrain after a clutter of wickets early on. First of this 5-match series between Qatar and Bahrain. All 5 matches will be played here in Doha at the Western International Cricket Stadium. The series will conclude on Saturday, and today is about striking first in the contest. Qatar have done that as over number 5 comes to a close. Bahrain are 13 for 4. Change in bowling then. Ikramullah has been brought into the attack rather. He's got a man back at deep square leg and a wideish third man, the 2 men outside the 30-yard circle. There's a slip, a wide slip in place too. Still attacking. Qatar looking for another wicket. Slightly full. Not as much movement for Ikram as there was for the opening bowlers. That might be something for the Bahraini batters to keep their eye on. They've got their backs against the wall and need an inspirational performance from someone to get them out of this hole. Oh, no movement on the first one, but certainly some there. Inviting the drive. But the ball leaving the batter, shaping away just at the last moment. And that's why he's got that slip in place, and it's wide because he's inviting the drive. Clumps closer to the stump, but an outside edge found was a bit streakish. Gone straight to Shazib at third man. Trying to break free now. This is the last over of the power play. They've only got 14 runs on the board. It's a bit of a catch-22 for Bahrain at the minute. Not sure whether to attack or defend. Nice bowling within the line of the stumps. Coming closer to the stumps. Ikram. Utility all-rounder. He's a good fielder. More than a useful bowler. And an excellent batter lower down the innings as well. Has the ability to bat up if needed. So an excellent all-round utility cricketer, Ikram. Has played first-class cricket in Pakistan. And a direct hit. Would have been curtains for Ahmed. Surely would have been out. As it turns out, Sharik misses. And the batters cross over for a single. Well, let's view that again. One hand pickup and a throw. He'd given up the ghost to the batter. Luckily for him, it didn't hit. Sharik is a supreme athlete. Very quick on his feet and agile. An excellent fielder. Not the man you want to take on. Interesting that man from the slips has been moved to the gully position now. He's going to invite the drive. Oh, it was a double bluff. Bringing the ball back into the right-hander. End of the power play one, an extremely sedentary one. A devastating one, in fact, for Bahrain. At the end of the power play, they are 16 with almost half their side back in the hut. Right, end of power play then, and Mujib, I think, has been brought into the attack. First signs of spin. Left arm orthodox. Starts off with the wide. Nicely bowled. Finding his line. Got to capitalize on the start provided by the opening bowlers. One thing with Mujib, he'll go through his overs quickly. He's a street smart cricketer. Doesn't take much time to finish his overs. A huge shot for leg before. It was an interesting call as well. Probably pitching outside the leg stump. It'll be interesting to see the replay of that.
Similar delivery within the line of the stumps. Another dot ball. Building pressure. Hasn't really bowled a bad ball in this over so far. Once again, targeting the stumps. Only a single. Mujib realizing it's important to go through his overs quickly, as Bahrain are already on the back foot. Not giving them much breathing space, so just a single to finish over number 7. Bahrain are 19 for 4. Ikramullah then it is to bowl his second over. It's a bit of a quiet period now for both teams. Not as many wickets falling after that power play, but also not many runs being scored. Bring this game live to you from the Western International Cricket Stadium in Doha. We'd like to welcome international cricket as Qatar take on Bahrain in this bilateral series. 5 matches to be played between these two sides, all of them on this venue of Western International Cricket Ground. The series is set to conclude on Saturday. 2 teams, 1 venue and 5 matches to decide it all. Straight down the ground he goes. Another dot ball. A lot of these cricketers from Qatar have other full-time jobs on top of playing cricket for their country. But this is not something that they do day in, day out. This is not their only bread and butter. They work extremely hard. As Ikramullah bowls another jaffer, beating the batter. A lot of credit needs to be given to them. Earning their livelihood and at the same time committing to cricket, practicing as and when they can, maintaining fitness levels. Takes a lot of commitment and effort. Huge kudos and credit goes to these cricketers, that's for sure. Same is the case, I guess, with a lot of the sides from the Middle East. Oh, what a ball! Smell of the leather. The batter had nowhere to go there. Ahmed, the skipper, The ball rising from that good length. Takes a lot of skill for a bowler to do that. Using those back muscles. Bending his back. And creating an awkward angle for the batter. He comes again, and that was the logical follow-up to the previous ball. Going full. End of over number 8, Bahrain in deep trouble, 20 for 4. Just to update our viewers on the T20 World Cup. A T20 World Cup game in Sri Lanka. It's Pakistan taking on the USA. And on the face of it, on paper, it might look like Pakistan are the hot favorites, but the game is not played on paper. Remember the last edition of the World Cup, Pakistan managed to lose, as they so often do. Despite being a formidable side and having probably some of the finest talent in the world, they can always surprise us. So this contest between the USA and Pakistan is something that will be followed by a lot of people around the world. They've gotten off to a reasonable start, Pakistan, having lost the toss, put into bat. They are 19 for none in 2 overs. Sam Ayub and Sahibzada Farhan. As we come back to the stadium live, and finally some respite for Bahrain. They were going nowhere. A gentle glance in the end. There was no fielder protecting that area at fine leg. Hence, a much needed boundary, a relief for Bahrain. And this time, it's another powerful shot. What a way, 2 boundaries in a row. Finally, some release of pressure for Bahrain. They're breaking the shackles. They're taking Mujib on. And it's the captain who's doing it. Trying to paddle it, probably realizing there's no one down at the short fine leg area. The ball coming off the outside half of the bat, as there were no signals of bye, I believe. And a dot ball to finish for Mujib. He completes his second. In fact, there's a ball to go. stabbed away, and a quick run to finish over number 9. Bahrain are 31 for 4, and a bit of a partnership building for them at the end of 9th. Talking about partnerships, there hasn't been much to write home about. The only partnership to enter into double figures has been this one by Ahmed and Nasser. 22 runs. Oh, look at that, 0-0-2-7. The previous 4. Presenting a picture of gloom. It's not doom yet, because there's still hope. It's a funny game, cricket. But compounding their problems will be this man, Awais. Has 2 hat-tricks to his name in international cricket. Oh, losing his balance, trying to sweep that one, slipping off the surface. Got to be careful. And almost losing his wicket in the process as well. Let's watch that again. Nicely bowled, a bit of drift. The line's good. No width on offer, but well played as well. Playing it down the ground for a single. This time using his wrists to flick it away for a single. It's a skill, this, creating and taking singles. Using the wrists to create an angle that allowed him to play that ball through the onside. It's a risky shot, but I guess on a surface like this, it's pretty much on. Bringing the batter forward, that's what they want, Qatar. Talk about bring the batters forward whenever there is movement as the batter is forward and the length is full, it's harder to spot. Tight line once again within the line of the stumps. Another over done. They're 34 for 4, Bahrain. And with that, we'll take a short drinks break and be back in about 10 minutes. Right, here we are back in the field after the drinks break halfway mark. The first half has well and truly belonged to Qatar. Not only picking up wickets but also putting the brakes on the scoring. But as we speak, it's the skipper, Mirza, deciding to bring himself back into the attack. And that's because he wants a wicket. He doesn't want Bahrain to get away with it now. This partnership is slowly but surely building. He goes down the track, does Ahmad. And is he got enough of it? Yes, he has. You bet he has. What a welcome to the crease. What a shot. What a statement. He wouldn't like it though, the Qatari captain. The last time it happened, he picked up a wicket. Good cricket though, not losing his calm, realizing he's got a 6 with the first ball of the over. Trying to dab it down for a single. Now these two batters are well in. They've done the rescue act for their team. It's probably about time for them to put the foot on the accelerator now. Mirza is an experienced campaigner. Has the ability to pick up wickets, bowling a slower delivery, realizing the batter is trying to use his feet and is looking for pace on. And the slower one, and beating him in pace, but managed to play down the ground for a single. Worked away through the offside, just found the gap, but there is protection of the boundary, coming back for the second in the meantime, and doing so quite comfortably in the end. Conceding 6 for the first ball, but coming back rather well. Quick single, a direct hit would be interesting. As well home, I think. Appeal, not sure what for, because I don't think the ball hit the stumps. And the forward number 11, they're 44 for 4 at the end of 11, Bahrain. Right then, Asim is coming into the attack. It's his first over. Worked away for a single first up. wants the fielder to come from the point region. And he's moving him now to short mid-wicket. And they've got a square leg in place as well. As we assess this field, the two men inside the 30-yard circle in the inner ring, point and extra cover. There's deep extra cover in position as well. Two men at long off, long on, deep mid wicket, and a deep backward square leg. The five fielders outside the 30-yard circle, and wow! Excellent captaincy! Brilliant! Absolutely brilliant. That's exactly where that man was moved before this ball. There were two fielders on the offside behind point, one of them moving to exactly the position where that catch was taken, reading the script perfectly. There was a partnership building. They were threatening to come out of this collapse, but a moment of brilliance. It's just not a game of talent. It's skill, all right, but it's strategy as well. And that time it was strategy doing the job for Qatar. Right, Qatar at the moment, I've got this game by the scruff of its neck. Half the Bahraini side back in the hut. Asim providing that breakthrough, and it's that man again on the onside coming into picture. In fact, it was the square leg on that occasion. A new batter at the crease now, so they'll have to rebuild yet again. Bahrain have never really got going in this innings. We're left shell-shocked with that opening spell of the bowlers. That time a bit lucky maybe a bit intentional as well, as there was no slip in place. Last minute guide through the slip region, and a much welcome boundary to finish over number 12. 50 they are for 5 at the end of 12. Bahrain. All right, then it's Ikram starting his third over. It's been miserly, just going for 4 runs in his 2 overs. And what a ball, an absolute jeffer to start his third. pitching in and around that off stump and viciously moving away, seaming away. That's always harder than a swinging ball that you can spot early. Once again, squaring up the batter. Ikram is an experienced campaigner. Nazir is the new batter in. Qatar almost into the Bahraini tail. Another wicket here. And they might just fancy their chances of bundling Bahrain out for a total of less than 100. Another dot ball, 3 in a row now. Something's got to give. Qatar quite happy to concede a single at this stage. They've only got 4 men out inside the 30-yard circle. There might as well be a case for stopping that single and further choking the opposition. Played away down to the third man. And as we speak, there is some crowd as well building up to watch this contest of home side, which is really heartening to see people coming in and watching this game. It's not the weekend, but it's a sports day in Qatar. And it's an official holiday as well, just to let our viewers know. All institutions and private companies are enjoying this special privilege. That's how much Qatar values its cricket. Not just cricket, but sports. We have a dedicated day for sports, which is a public holiday. People go and enjoy with their families various sports activities at venues like Qatar Mall, Bellagio. It's just not sports, but an absolute festival for people here. And the forward number 13, Bahrain are 52 for 5. Going through for a single, a bit of a yes and no. Munib is quick across the turf. Not the man you want to take on. Just referring back to the community activities that take place during the sports day in Qatar. Sports takes center stage nationwide and is celebrated by one and all. The young and the old, the kids, men, women. Oh, an outside edge found away. Ikram is giving it a chase. Does so successfully, keeping it down to just the two. It's also important for a nation, and Qatar is a proud nation. Very proud to represent sports, all kinds of sports, holding the 2022 World Cup. And following that, plenty of other eye-catching and prestigious events have been held here. Recently, the Emerging Asia Cup was organized, involving 6 teams from the main member nations of the ICC. It was an absolute extravaganza as that ball's been cut away for at least a couple of runs. Boundaries have been hard to find. Waits into his second over and he's conceded 9 so far. And a dot ball to finish over number 14. There's 59 for 5 at the end of 14. Right then, it's Mirza to bowl out his last over of the innings. He'd be hoping to pick up a couple of wickets. Nasser has been out there. He's moved on to 29 now. Slowly but surely building this innings. It's also important to get Bahrain to a respectable total here. They'll be eyeing around a mark of around 100, 110 maybe. 6 overs to go still. The problem at the moment is they haven't got enough wickets in the bank. So if they go on the charge and lose another couple of wickets, they might be in danger of being bundled out for less than 100. As we mentioned earlier, it's a bit of a catch-22 for them. Sharik, I think, has 1 over to go. The prime destroyer of the innings. They still have to contend with him. Such is the depth as well in this bowling lineup of Qatar. They've got Mirza, the captain himself, Sharik Munir, Awais, the experienced Ikram. A quality bowling lineup, that's for sure. Full toss, and we just have to wait for the umpire signal. It's been signaled as a no ball, in fact, by the umpire. It was at a dangerous height, as deemed by the umpire, Mr. Shailesh Gajanan, the officiating umpire, and with that it'll be a free hit. Haven't been any tough calls in this match so far. The umpiring has been decent. And he goes downtown. What a sound of the bat. An absolute crackerjack to break the shackles by Nasser. He's been out there for a while. On that occasion, he had the license to kill and thrill. Was a proper shot, that, not a slog. Goes again through the offside. Nobody moves. Piercing the gap with surgical precision. A 6 and a 4. And suddenly there is some momentum running into this innings. There's some life back in it. He's unhappy, Mirza. And good cricket there by Nasser, playing it straight down the ground for a single to finish over number 15. At the end of 15, then they're 75 for 5, Bahrain. Bit of spin on offer for Asim. Guided away, and he's coming back for the second. Questions being asked, but I think he was safely home. Ran the first one hard and came back hard for the second one too. The key to that shot was how he played it extremely late, watching that ball till the very last second. Takes a bit of skill to do that. He was always running hard. He's a busy cricketer, Nasser. 43, the run rate at the moment is 5.08. Trying to cut that ball. Getting the inside half of the bat, beating the keeper, going through for a single. The shot was pretty much on. Couldn't quite get the connection. That time he's found the gap. Giving it the good old-fashioned hoik over deep mid-wicket. Nazir now joins the party. From Bahrain's point of view, this is good to see. They're making a contest out of this one. Last 2 overs, the runs have begun to flow. Changes in field. Mirza is absolutely meticulous about his field placement. He wants the deep mid-wicket fielder to move to his right. Good cricket by Nazir, working it away for single. A 4 followed by a single. It's been rather expensive. Asim into his second over has conceded 14 compared to the rest of the bowlers. Nicely played away off the back foot. Closing in on a half century is AB Nasser. Tucked away for a single at least. They're running hard, trying to come back for the second, but decide against it in the end, and rightly so. As over number 16 comes to a close, the 84 Bahrain for the loss of 5. In this partnership between Nasser and Nazir growing. They'd be hoping to get their team up to that total of around 120 runs to give themselves any outside chance in this contest. Partnership has come in quick time. Once again, trying to dab that ball. He's confident. Awais. He was almost certain, but the umpire didn't hear anything. And Nasser lives to survive another day. Good ball, though. Very good ball, and a cleaner pickup, though. Was it Mujib, the fielder? A cleaner pickup, and the batter would have been in big trouble. Straight down the ground goes Nazir. He's played a valuable hand for his side. Batting on 14. Goes up in the air. He hasn't quite timed it. There's a fielder coming underneath it. And that ball just evading him. Not by much, but just enough to clear the fence. And with that shot, Nasser reaches to his half century as well. What an innings it has been under pressure. Follows that 6 up with a single. Nudged away. Running the first one hard once again, but they don't want to take that man on at the boundary. It's Sharik Munir, I think. Another productive over then for Bahrain comes to an end. That run rate climbing up to 5.53 as they're 94 for 5 at the end of 17. Asim into his third over. Bowling over number 18 for Qatar. Right up in the block hole. That's the kind of ball you'd normally associate with a fast bowler. Trying to dig it out was Nazir. The idea for him would be to give the strike back to Nasser. He's cleaned him up, right up in the block hole. And Asim has picked up another wicket here just at the right time, just when a bit of momentum was coming back for Bahrain. Ideal death bowling that. It was fast, it was full, and it was aimed right at the stumps, bullseye. The batter trying to dig it out, all in vain. Too good, Asim. A timely wicket for Qatar. 6 of their batters now back in the hut as they're 94 for 6. Oh, beat him all ends up. It was a little slow, and there's a bit of turn on offer too. Now, will they have to reassess? They've still got 4 wickets in the hand, though, and they've got 1 set batter in the middle. The idea should really be to give that strike to Nasir as much as possible. He's got his eye in, he's seeing the ball well, he's got a good understanding of this, of how the surface is playing out as well. But he's picking his battles wisely, choosing the right ball to hit, not going after everything. This time there was a wild hoik by Butt. Missed everything as over number 18 comes to a close there. 96 for 6 Bahrain. Here's that man again, Sharik Munir in your picture. The man who did all the early damage for Qatar. He's been brought back into the innings to close it out for good. He has to contend with a set batter though. Nicely played, but an excellent piece of fielding effort, getting some hands, getting a hand to it. All in vain though, that was powerfully struck by Nasir. Full marks for the effort, but not enough to stop that ball from rolling over the boundary. Drilled through onside, coming through for a single. They'll keep it down to a single as well. Well, Qatar would feel, although there's this late surge and a couple of partnerships, but the magnitude of that early damage was so huge that Bahrain have never quite fully recovered from it. Yes, they've built a couple of partnerships. They've gotten to that three-figure mark, 102 now for 6. But I feel this is a far better pitch than 102 for 6. There is some movement on it, all right. But it's been more to do with the skill of the Qatari bowlers than any real demons on the pitch. Shariq Munir yet again taking the pitch out of the equation, bowling the Yorker, executing it to perfection. Evidence of how it's skill over conditions. Just get the feeling there's a slower ball coming up here. Yeah, a bit slower, not allowing the bat at the pace to work with. And just another single. Singles won't hurt. 7 runs of the over so far. If we can close it out with a dot ball or another single, it wouldn't be a bad result for Qatar. Goes straight down the ground, but he's hit it straight into the hands, the safe hands of the fielder, who accepts it gleefully. And yet another wicket to Shariq Munir. It's his 4th for the innings. And what a way to finish his spell. Bahrain now are 7 down. 103 for 7 they are, with 1 over to go. Let's take another look at that dismissal. Lined Shariq up. Probably got the distance, but not the height. A comfortable catch in the end. The last over to be bowled by the experienced Ikram. Supporting his run-up. Umpire Usman. Performing his duties alongside Shailesh Gajanan. Both extremely experienced. And they've done an excellent job in this contest so far. That was drilled. Making a great sound of the bat. But Mirza doing well to get some pace off the ball there, getting a hand on it. Takes some courage, that. When the ball is flying at you at the rate of knots like it was. Rather than Bahrain, they need at least a 15-run over. AB Nasser is still out there. He's faced 52 deliveries. If he can get a couple away, they might feel they're in with a chance. On the other hand, a wicket here can seal the deal for Qatar. Coming closer to the stumps, but too wide. Signaled as one as well by the umpire. He's not happy, Mirza, there. He wants his bowler to bowl within the line of the stumps. He's right in his ears there. Going close to the stumps, hit on the onside. There is protection down to the boundary. They will look back to come back for the second. No, they don't want to take that arm on at the boundary, so only a single. The result, and not a bad result yet again for Qatar. They've only got 3 more deliveries to bowl, and they've got the new man on strike, Dawood, which they wouldn't mind one bit. Slower delivery, I think that's going down leg side. Yes, the umpire thinks so as well. Leg by signaled. Just 1 added to the total. It's been an excellent performance by the Qatari team. They've come out here and shown great intensity and attitude, picking up early wickets, putting the brakes on the scoring. They've caught well, fielded well as well, and been excellent strategically with their plans, ticking most boxes in the contest. And that's been played away. What a shot that was. A.B. Nasser, wasn't that bad a ball. He had to dig it out all right. And a boundary, a much needed boundary there for Bahrain. Slower one, I think, beating the batter. Not been a bad over, actually. Not been a bad spell, only giving away 15 runs. Has complemented this attack rather well. Final ball of the innings coming up. It's A.B. Nasser on strike. 67 he's got. And it's thanks largely to his innings that Bahrain have managed a score of over 100. He goes onside but finds the fielder, so it'll just be a 1. So Bahrain's innings concluding at 113 for 7. What a bowling performance it has been from the Qatari team. They've bowled with hunger, they've bowled with passion and resilience. They've bowled immaculate lines and lengths, hitting the right areas. And that intensity stayed up all throughout the game. And as a result, they find themselves in a commanding position. As we look at the match summary, Bahrain in their allotted 20 overs getting 113 for 7. As we take an innings break, the play to resume in about 10 minutes from now. We'll see you then. Welcome back to the Western International Cricket Stadium here in Doha, Qatar. It's Qatar taking on Bahrain, and we're all in readiness for the commencement of the second innings. Bahrain batting first, scoring a below par total. Qatar in the process has a simple job in their hands. Dawood starting proceedings off for Bahrain. Cut away by Irshad, Sakleen Irshad. They have to play percentage cricket, and that's all what's required at this stage. Nothing extravagant. Though not getting as much movement as the new ball bowlers from Qatar did, particularly Sharik in that first over. It's absolutely unplayable. A bit of movement there though. Half-hearted shout. Inside edge onto the pads. Got everyone interested for a bit. Got a slip in position. The two men outside the 30-yard circle are deep backward square leg. And a wide-ish third man. They've got a slip in place. A man at short mid-wicket, another catcher. Short, and he wanted to hit that in the middle of Doha. Sakleen mistiming it completely. Did that ball keep a bit low? It'll be interesting to see the replays. Straight down the ground, it gets off the mark finally. Sakleen runs on board for Qatar. First runs as Zubair Ali gets strike for the first time. The stylish left-hander. Qatar going in with a right-left combination of opening batters in this game. Zubair Ali and Sakleen Irshad, the required run rate, well manageable. Under 6, 5.90 to be precise. Oh, he's cleaned him up here, Dawood. Tried to play that ball across the line. It was only his first ball. And Zubair is walking back for a golden duck. What a start for Bahrain. It was probably a bit premeditated there from Zubair. Dawood using that angle, seaming that ball away and hitting the top of off stump. Perfect, perfect length, perfect line, and a perfect wicket for Bahrain. Right, so first blood to Bahrain then in this contest. Qatar 1 for 1 in 1. We've had multiple Nelson-type score in this game. Remember Bahrain being 2-2-2 for 2 and then 3-3-3 for 3. It's been that kind of a day. The rhythm of numbers coming together. Bowlers have enjoyed their stay out here. Doesn't seem to be a threatening pitch. We saw loads of runs being scored here in the recently concluded domestic season. The last shot, though, it was purely down to shot selection. Went across the line. Yes, it was a good ball, all right, but not an unplayable one, as there is some stoppage now out in the middle. They're trying to fix the stumps, it seems. Technicalities, stopping play, as Ilianage, the wicketkeeper, has made his way out in the middle, scored heavily in the domestic circuit, particularly in the 50-over format. He's a force to reckon with. Not to say that he's any less of a batter in T20s. Once he gets going, he can tear any bowling attack apart. That kind of a batter, Ilianage. Right then, ready to proceed. Nicely played by Sakalain, giving respect where it's due. There's somebody behind the side screen. He wants that person to move because he's getting distracted. Oh, this time, what a shot that was! Behold, a slight bit of opportunity drifting into his pads, and Sakalain Irshad is too good a player to miss out on it. Showing his class, stamping his authority with that shot. That shot he played there, that boundary, was the one for the photographer. He could have held the pose if he wanted, and it might have gotten into the headlines in front of the sports, in the front headlines for the sports page tomorrow morning. Oh, that ball keeping low just a touch. The ball dying as it arrived to the keeper. So perhaps that's the only tricky part from the pitch. It's slowing down a little. Got to be careful with those cross-bedded shots then. That's better. Playing it straight down the ground, playing it with soft hands, getting through for a single. He Imel then to face his first ball. It's been a decent start for Bahrain. They've managed to pick up a wicket and haven't really let Qatar off the hook in the first 2 overs. It's not a blazing start, it's a safe one, all right. It can be tricky, these games, low scoring ones. It looks easy on the face of it. Oh, once again, I think there's distraction behind the side screen. He wants somebody walking across to move, as there was someone walking right in front of the side screen. And these batters these days, they're absolutely meticulous, making sure they get absolutely right. They get it absolutely right and don't get distracted. First ball, defended away gently as over number 2 comes to a close. Qatar are 7 for 1. Oh, what a shot! What a magnificent strike! Piercing the field, finding the gap. And he looks $1 million when he plays shots like that. That shot brought the crowd on their feet. A bit of width outside the off stump. And he pounced onto it. Oh, didn't know much about that. Was it a slower delivery? Misreading the pace? And fortunate to survive. Sure, not quite getting the timing behind that. Loves to pounce on to anything short, does Sid Lane. Time going back at the crease, going deep in the crease. Was looking for a shorter delivery, but realizing the length wasn't there, so guiding it in the end, adjusting his shot last second. Nicely driven by Emil. No runs there. So although they haven't lost as many wickets as Bahrain did early on, they've only got 11 on the board, and this is already the third over. Wow, what power! Hit it straight where it came from. It was straight, gun barrel straight. Imel scoring his first boundary. Qatar are 15 for 1 at the end of 3. Oh, was that an outside edge? I think it was. Going through the wicket keeper, just falling short. When the replays come out, we'll be able to tell whether that really should have been stopped or really get a bad bounce. Lucky escape, but a couple of boundaries in quick time for Qatar, giving them some momentum. Mr. Butt is not happy with the result. Played it late, glided it late. He wanted to find that gap between short third man and backward point. The idea was right, but didn't quite really have the placement. Simil back on strike. Originally hails from Sri Lanka. Oh, of the pad that time, missed it completely, was a touch high, so there was no appeal for LBW. Probably a bit too full to play that kind of shot. Better within the line of the stumps, threatening to hit the stump was the fielder. Wow! Wow, wow, wow. Nobody moves. Saqlain Irshad. He didn't just hit it, he trimmed it. A shot of authority, elegance, and class. Roll on the replay. It was marginally short, not much width on offer, but he got on top of it and played it all along the carpet with complete control. And a bit full at that time, playing it down the ground for a single. Well, he's shown his strength through the offside in this over as over number 4 comes to a close. Qatar with a decent start, 26 for 1 they are at the end of 4. Comparison of the run rate of the two sides, there is no comparison, so to speak, at this stage. Qatar going northwards, while Bahrain at a similar stage were reeling south. Big contrast, a huge difference between how these two teams have started off, both in terms of wickets as well as runs. Introduction of spin then. Bahrain deciding to introduce spin inside the power play, realizing they need to pick up a wicket here. Left arm orthodox, bit of turn on offer. Waiting on that one was Irshad, playing it straight into the hands of the fielder all along the ground. Particularly strong through the offside, has the ability to play that cut vociferously as well as that back foot punch. And there's that back foot punch coming up once again. Guiding it down for a single. It looks so good as well when he strikes the ball. The sound of the bat is so crisp and good to hear. Very, very pleasant. Abbasi bowling his first over. Started off well, decent, 3 dot balls, just 1 single. Qatar won't be too worried about dot balls at this stage. They're going fine. Required run rate well in check. They've got to play. They have to play percentage cricket as of now. Nothing out of the ordinary is required. Well bowled and giving it the due respect. Irshad. Smart cricket. At the end of 5, Qatar are 28 for 1. Right, there's the Manhattan. If you've seen the towering buildings in the West Bay in Doha, you might as well see how those buildings here, how these buildings here are faring for Qatar. Not the huge and tallest of skyscrapers so far, but the mid-sized suburban apartments and buildings. That will do. Enough to accommodate the number of runs they are required to score. Last over of the power play. They don't have to do anything different here, Qatar. They're well and truly in check of the required run rate. Bahrain opting to go for spin from both ends. Left arm spin. Flicked away nicely. Yet another single for Ashad. He's moved on to 23. Hitting some gorgeous shots on the way. And that's his zone, Emil. That's one area you don't want to bowl to him. Down leg side, giving him an opportunity to go down on one knee and sweep that ball down to the fine leg reason for a 4. Came wide of the crease and the ball wider of the leg stump, and Emil is too good a player to miss out on it. This time he goes downtown, using his feet. Couple of bounces into the fence. He's making his intentions clear here, crystal clear. Easy as you like. Consecutive boundaries then for Qatar, and something for this crowd here to cheer about. He goes straight down the ground once again, pulls it straight down the ground, just the one. But again, the sound of the bat is extremely crisp and pleasant. That was the last ball of the power play, played back to the bowler. At the end of the power play, then Qatar off to a reasonable start. 39 they are for the loss of 1. Scoring cards, Salman Ashad and Zubair Ali opening the batting. Zubair going early, a first ball ducked for him. But since then, Emil and Arshad have steadied the ship. Dawood, the pick of the bowlers so far for Bahrain, picking up 1 wicket. Abbasi, the most economical, bowling 1 over, conceding only 1 run. While Butt and Salman both conceding over 10 in 2 and 1 overs that they've bowled respectively. Ball of wickets, it was an early one. They got Zubair out in the first over when the score was just 1. They've been decent with extras too, just the 1 extra. It's that man Abbasi. Got the ball to turn in the first over. And bowled reasonable lines and lengths as well. The problem for Bahrain, though, at the moment is that Qatar don't have to do anything out of the ordinary. You can just continue to play the ball on its merit. The required run rate is under 6. It's Bahrain who'll always have to do the catching up in this game. Wide of the crease he goes, driven by Seclane, finding the fielder. Cut away, but again finding the fielder who was hit hard. With the fielder there, got his hands to it, restricting it to only a 1. Imel, though, he looks to be in a different mood. Wants to take the bowling on now, finding the back gap and coming back for the second quickly. I think that's fine. We've got Seclane at one end who's content and trying to play the ball on its merit. Imel has gotten off to a flyer, 18 already of 13. He's seeing the ball well. And he wants to go after the bowling. That is perfectly fine. Slightly short. Rocking back onto the back foot. Punching it through the offside to end over number 7. Qatar are 44 for 1 at the end of 7. Played away just for a single. And down the ground goes Irshad for another singles. Quite happy to milk the bowling at this stage. Required run rate well under check. As we provide you with live updates from the Cricket World Cup being played in Sri Lanka at the moment. It's Pakistan taking on the USA. A much hyped and talked about contest as Imel finds the gap. Good piece of fielding at the boundary, restricting it to just the 2. But a good-looking shot once again from Imel. Right, talking about that game again, the World Cup game, Pakistan versus the USA. USA winning the toss, deciding to field first. Unable to restrict Pakistan, got off to a flyer. That's another unorthodox shot by Imel, and this time he's able to evade the diving fielder at the boundary. He's playing with the mind of the bowler too, one through the offside, the other one paddled fine on the onside. So good to watch him. He's a busy cricketer. And he's got that Sri Lankan flavor of batting as well. Particularly strong, square on either side, scooping the ball. And also that natural ability to cut it through offside. Right, so Pakistan scoring 190 in the first innings of that game in the World Cup. And USA have just started their reply. They're none for none. Getting off to a reasonable start and amounting to that total of 190 was a decent effort. I still have to bowl well though, you never know. This 12th group match is being played at Colombo on the February of, on today's date, of course. Just to highlight some notable performances, Sahib Dada Farhan scoring 73 runs of 41 deliveries. Babar Azam joining the party, finding some form, scoring 46 of 32 balls. And Shadab Khan with a late surge, scoring a quick-fire cameo of 30 of just 12 balls. So overall, an excellent batting performance there by Team Pakistan. They'll have to defend it well though. Right, talking about this game, getting back to Qatar versus Bahrain, and it looks to be a one-sided contest this for Qatar. Well and truly in the driver's seat. Oh, huge shout for leg before, he's pleading. He's almost requesting the umpire to give him out. But that ball was clearly drifting down leg side. Let's roll the replay. Going wide of the crease, so with the angle it was always going to be difficult for it to hit the stumps. Comfortably missing the stumps. Bowling closer from the crease. And this time Imel quite happy to go onto the back foot and pull it down the ground. He's moved on to 28 already of just the 19 balls. It's been a clinical performance by this Qatar side so far in this contest. Restricting the opposition to a score of 120, below par for sure. And now chasing it down with authority into the 9th over. The run rate already above 6.5. Required run rate well in control. 2 set batters out there. Never defined role. Lane quite happy to nudge the ball around and wait for an opportunity. Imel, on the other hand, is quite proactive. Using his feet, Imel goes downtown and deposits it out of the rope for a 6. He's in mood to finish this one quickly, is Imel. What a sight to behold. He moves on to 34 in no time. And he's brought about a range of shots in this innings. It went so high for a moment I thought it would have come down with the weather report. Smart cricket, looking for a single, the very next ball. I think it's the captain there is not very happy with his bowler. He's having an absolute go at him at the end of 9. Qatar are 63 for 1. Let's have a look at this field again then. They've got a deep cover in place. Long on. Long off is just coming in now to the mid-off position. They've got a deep square leg in place too, a third man. Lane fancies hitting the ball square on the offside, and that area is still vacant. There is a change in bowling now. Anwar, left arm fast. Coming on to bowl, and that's a smart shot. There is protection at the boundary, so it'll only be a single. Well controlled. It's the official sports day in Qatar today, marked as an official holiday all throughout the country. And it's been celebrated by QCA, one and all, organizing this bilateral series between Qatar and Bahrain. Earlier, the Qatar women were in action too against Oman women, and what a nail-biting of a contest we had, an absolute humdinger, the second of the two games. Went on with the same intensity. Looks to be a walk in the park now for Qatar this game. Required run rate now falling well below 5, 4.59 to be precise. The target is 114. Lane looks to be at home, trying to cut that ball. Was probably too close for a cut. Too full. But that's his go-to shot. Likes playing square on the offside. Wow, have a look at that shot. He's helicoptered it with authority and disdain. Short of the match so far. Comfortably short of the match. Requires precision and skill. And above all, immaculate balance. And it had all the ingredients of a blockbuster shot. Claire Rashad now also moves on to 35. He's faced 36 deliveries. Both batters, in fact, now on 35. Down the ground he goes. Last ball of the over. Qatar finishing this over on 73. 73 for 1 they are at the end of the 10. And it's time for drinks. breaks. This partnership now has grown to 72. Himal on 36 and Irshad on 35. Look to be well and truly on course to steer their side home. Short and a bit slower. They're going through motions now. Bahrain, they've been outclassed in this game so far. Slower one again and wrapped on the pads. He was on the back foot. Looked to be a close shout. It'll be interesting to see the replays. Probably an inside edge. Looked to be quite adjacent. This time he's pulled it away between the two fielders. Hasn't quite got the power behind it. We'll still get a couple. Stylishly played down the ground for another single. Oh, a risky option there. Slower delivery, almost chopped it back onto the stumps. And for over number 11, Qatar are 77 after 11 for 1. Wow, what a shot. Straight down the ground he goes. Bisecting the two fielders, but the fielder successfully coming across from long on and stopping that ball from rolling across to the boundary. Seemed to be quite well struck. Well stopped in the end, though. Clipped away for a single. Has been quite a one-sided contest, this. 34 runs to win, I beg your pardon, and ample deliveries remaining, 52 balls to be precise. They've got all 9 wickets in the tank. Oh, using his feet. Deceived with a bit of movement and late bounce there. Emil trying to force the issue. Played well though for his 37 or 26. Looking to force the issue. Something against the run of play. Something for Bahrain to cheer about. As Qatar lose their second wicket, they're 80 for 2 after 11.3. Look at that replay once again. Adjusting that shot just at the last moment. Surprised by that steep bounce in the end. Comfortable catch. Right, there's a new batter in now. It's the captains. Mirza Baig making his way out in the middle at the 2 down position. Be hoping to have some good practice out in the middle before the second game tomorrow, to be played at the same venue here starting at 4 p.m. We had 2 absolute humdinger of contests between Qatar women and Oman women early in the piece. This game, though, seems to be going one way only. Qatar in complete control ever since that 3-wicket over by Sharik. Right up in the block hole, not much you can do about it. Digging it out. And if another over number 12 comes to a close, Qatar 82 for 2. Over number 13 in progress now. Seclane going inside out. Finding the fielder, but not before he comfortably comes back for a second. Running hard. That's the way to go. Like how he leans forward. Commits himself completely onto the front foot. Hasn't put a foot wrong in this inning so far. Seclane. He knows he doesn't have to do anything out of the ordinary. That shot, one shot he played, the helicopter through mid-wicket, was the shot of the match as far as I'm concerned. Mirza, he favours that onside region. Slog sweep is his signature trademark shot. Not quite getting the timing on it. He would look to finish this quickly, Mirza. Nicely bowled, equally well played. Final ball of the over coming up. Mistimed. A dot ball to finish. 13 done. Qatar 86 for 2. Trying to go across the line. Mirza. Meeting thin air. If he stays out there for a couple of overs, you might as well see this game come to a quick close. That's the idea. I think that's why he's promoted himself slightly up the order. Played away through the onside. He's an aggressive captain, is Mirza. Led Qatar to their inaugural series win against Saudi Arabia a few months ago, right on this venue. Was also the man of the series in that contest. Utility all-rounder. The superstar of Qatar cricket. And the right man to lead the men in maroon. And the right man to lead them in batting is Seclane Rashad. Up the order. Has a great temperament, clean technique, and ability to play long. technically strong, seem to possess the skills, covering a lot of bases there, technical or mental. It's just a matter of time now for Qatar to wrap this game up and go one up in this series, 5-match bilateral series. It's a long one though. It's still just the first game. It'll be played in a short span of time though, so Bahrain will need to recover quickly of this loss if they are to have any chances of making any kind of comeback. Mirza is back on strike and is eyeing that onside region without a shadow of a doubt. He probably would go down on one knee and slog sweep it through mid-wicket. Well, the length wasn't there, but he goes onside. Picks up a single to finish to retain strike in the next over. 14 done. Qatar 91 for 2. Back onto the back foot, punching it hard down the ground, going downtown. He's itching to go, is Mirza. He's waiting for one in his zone. They haven't quite given him the width or the length so far. Lane, in the meanwhile, is nearing his half century, just 3 runs away now. Eyeing offside. Walks across the stump. Good piece of fielding there by Nasser. Over offside he goes, inside out. Trademark Lane. And he gets to his 50 in grand fashion. Only a slight bit of width on offer, an opportunity to free his arms, and he gleefully accepted it. It's been a clean innings under the circumstances. A bit short, punched off the back foot. Another single. I think he hasn't realized it. He's already gotten to his 50. He got to his 50 with that boundary. But the late cheers and the late signal perhaps led to a late celebration. Better late than never, they say. Again, eyeing onside, finding the fielder yet again, just the single. Off the back foot, piercing that gap. What a shot. What a magnificent shot. Once again, showing his true class and authority through the offside. It was marginally short, waiting on the back foot, and then threading it, cutting it at the very last moment. Right, Mirza is on strike again, and I bet he's eyeing onside. Yep, that's where he goes. Coming back for the second. Comfortably in the end. A question asked. Had to stretch a little bit. Mirza. He's asking for a different bat. Was right up there in the block hole. Almost in the block hole, I'd say. Managing to play it away on the onside. And running hard for the second. Good intensity shown. Trying to win the psychological battle here as well, Mirza. Not just winning, but trying to win big. Not lowering the guard. Not sitting on his laurels. He's very, very meticulous. We saw that with his field placements earlier. He wants to change his bat now. It's probably broken. They've only got 10 more runs to chase down in this contest. It's been a clinical performance by Qatar in this game. Captain fantastic, leading from front. They hunted in packs their bowlers. Started off innings with him bowling the second and Sharik bowling the first over. And it was carnage, absolute carnage. Wickets flying right, left and centre. Right, would he finally be able to pull that onside shot off? Mirza is well capable of doing it. Change of bat. And is that a change of fortune? Not quite. Probably realizing the bowler was going full, trying to pedal that ball rather than muscling it. But it was a bit slower in pace. Clever piece of bowling by Dawood. He's been right on money throughout this contest, picking up an early wicket. And even with his sides backs against the wall, he's giving it absolutely everything. That's good to see. That's heartening to see. And finally gets one over onside, but again the timing is missing. Comes back for another two though, comfortably in the end. How desperately he wants to finish it in this over. Still got 8 wickets in the hand. It's not a question of winning this contest. Qatar more keen on winning it as soon as possible. What a shot, what a magnificent shot that. Didn't quite find the gap. But it was a crisp sound of the bat. this time he's hit it right into the hands of the fielder, who's made a meal of it. A straightforward opportunity put down. The bowler is not happy. He's bending his back, giving his absolutely everything. And a sitter put down. These are small victories that you need to gain even in a contest that you think is almost impossible to win. You don't want to lower your guard early in the series. First game of it, so important. Bahrain have been found wanting. They'll have questions to answer. Going into the second game tomorrow, going across the stump, Arshad on that occasion, wanted to flick it through onside. He's put his heart and soul into it, has Dawood. Excellent piece of bowling. And over number 16, 107 for 2. Our Qatar. There's a decent turnout in the crowd tonight. People have come to show support for Qatar. And they haven't been disappointed. It's been quite a magnificent performance by their team. A flawless performance. Only the last 6 runs needed now to wrap up the victory. Sakleen has been out there since the very beginning. He's made this territory his own, very familiar with these conditions. Plays all his domestic cricket on this ground. So does Mirza, of course. Oh, trying to be cheeky there, trying to be funny. And how he would have liked to carry the bat and stayed not out. As it turns out, he loses his wicket needlessly, rather needlessly at this stage. His captain should have wanted him to finish the game off. Anyway, still an excellent knock there by Sakleen. Scoring 56, Qatar are 108 now for 3. Well, but picking up a wicket in consolation, and that brings to crease Shahzeb Afridi, I think. He's known for his big striking. First ball. And he wanted to hit it in the middle of Doha somewhere. That's the way he plays, and he's an exciting cricketer, exciting young cricketer to watch. Known for his strike rate. A bit slower there. This time it was in his arc, and this time he successfully managed it to deposit that ball right into the stands and finishing this game off with authority. What a performance this has been by the Qatari side. Clinical, methodical, and flawless. First game of the series, so important. And Qatar have had a lot of boxes ticked, whether it's bowling, fielding, or batting. They've shown mastery and control in all three departments. They're led well by that man in your picture, Mirza. Patrolling his troops and playing an aggressive brand of cricket. Right, Qatar winning this game comprehensively by 7 wickets. Don't go too far. We'll take a short break. And after it, we'll be back with the presentation ceremony.
Hello and welcome to the presentation ceremony of this first game of the bilateral series, the much-awaited bilateral series between the Qatar and Bahrain men. And what an excellent start we have had to this series. A contest that was dominated by Qatar's bowling. They lost the toss, had to bowl first, but they came out there and they bowled their heart out, and they restricted the opposition to a total of 100 or below 150, and then chased it down clinically as well. Batting first, Bahrain getting us to a score of 113 for 7, and that was hunted down quite comfortably in the end by Qatar. There were some notable performances, but before we talk about that, can I please call upon the losing captain, Mr. Ahmed bin Nasser, to come forward and have a few words with us, please. Ahmed, hard luck today, not the kind of start you would have wanted. What went wrong?
Yeah, we couldn't start well in the power play. We lose some wickets, so that's really crucial for us if we get a good start. So we couldn't enough manage to store a good total.
Do you think it was because of average batting or really good bowling from Qatar?
No, you can say they are a decent bowling, they are a decent team. So yeah, it's difficult to manage,
All right, Ahmed, just the first game. You still have 4 more to go, and we wish you all the very best for that.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ahmed, the Bahraini captain. Could we now please call upon the winning captain, Mirza, to come forward and have a few words? Mirza, just the kind of start you would have hoped for, not winning the toss, but winning the match, and that's what counts in the end?
Yeah, we bowled really well. I talked on the toss, the pitch is not going to matter a lot. But the way we started with the ball, and as I said on the toss, that we will try to restrict them to the lowest. But the way their captain played the innings, at one point we were expecting them to get them out before 100. But the way he batted, it was really strong. But as it is, the wicket was easy to bat on later on. So yeah, it was an easy chase.
Yes, talking about the pitch itself, it didn't seem like a pitch that was that bad in the end. It did have some assistance, but do you think it was down to your strategy and the fact that your bowlers were able to generate some swing and they generated some skill as well?
Yeah, obviously we have been working with the coaches for, I think it's been a year now, and it shows onto the ground that the way the boys have worked hard, and the way the coaches have explained it to us to get the best out of all of us, and it shows onto the ground how we played.
All right, Mirza, an excellent start, and wish you the best for the rest of the series.
Thank you so much.
There you have it, the captain of the winning side. Well, now, talking about some notable performances, there were quite a few in this game. Seklain from Qatar scoring 54 runs. Amir scoring 68 from Bahrain, but there was one man who stood out with his performance exactly from the start. He went out there, bowled his heart out, picked up those early wickets and set the cat amongst pigeons. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please invite upon Sharik Munir from Qatar to come forward? The player of the match. And he's receiving the award from Mr. Khalid Al Suwaidi. We're really thankful to Mr. Khalid Al Suwaidi, who's made his presence here. The one man who's responsible for organizing this tournament, the CEO of Qatar Cricket. Hats off to you, sir. Sharik, can we don't go too far? Can we have a few words with you? शारिक ज़बरदस्त स्टार्ट था आपका, और जिस तरह से आपने बॉलिंग की, बॉल को अंदर भी लेके जा रहे थे और बाहर भी कर रहे थे, तो क्या प्लान था?
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। सबसे पहले तो अल्लाह ताला का शुक्र अदा करता हूँ कि अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस हुई है, और दूसरा ये कि जो हार्ड वर्क किया हुआ है और जो कोचेज़ की तरफ से प्लान दिया गया था, तो कोशिश यही थी कि उस पर बॉल करें, तो इंशाल्लाह सक्सेस।
पहले भी हम ये बात कर रहे थे कि पिच शायद इतनी बुरी नहीं थी, इतनी मूवमेंट नहीं थी पिच में, लेकिन आपने अपनी स्किल के ज़रिए बॉल को दोनों तरफ मूव किया, तो इस बारे में क्या कहेंगे?
जी, बस यही है कि कोचेज़ के साथ वर्क कर रहा हूँ, तो उसी पे प्लान था जो कोचेज़ का, तो उसी पे बॉल किए हैं।
शारिक, बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए, और ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट।
थैंक यू सर।
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. He was just saying there that he's been working hard with the coaches, and it was about the execution in the end. He bowled well, he stuck to his plans, and in the end it was the result that the Qatar team wanted and everyone wanted, on the Qatar side. Hard luck to the Bahraini team for today, but they've still got 4 more games to come. And don't forget to join us for them. We'll have the next game coming up tomorrow, 4 p.m. local time. Goodbye for now.